Hi there, everybody! If you're here, that's because I didn't get to you on stream last night, but that's okay. We're gonna get to you now, and I hope that is worth the wait. I hope that you enjoy it. Remember, when it comes to the future, things can change. We're just looking at the energy at this moment. You have free will, so if you see something you don't like, you don't have to accept it. I personally think it's the most likely outcome, but as I mentioned, not the guaranteed one. Okay, yeah, your timestamps are down below. Sorry, I always have to do a little disclaimer. Your timestamps are down below next to your name, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you so much for supporting me. Oh, see, hey! Thank you very much for coming last night. I hope that you like this. You said, hey, it's Alucard. What's up, Alucard? It's good to see you again. Can I get a reading for me and Colby? We're no contact. I want to see if there's still a chance he'll reach out. Ah, yeah! Yeah, let's see what's incoming. Let's see what we got. Oh, this card wants to come out. Okay. Okay. And what else do we got? Still a chance. Oh. Well, we have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Empress and Three of Wands. I will say the Three of Wands does represent the future. You know, it also means expansion. It can also mean timeline splitting. But in my opinion, I feel more so like it's the future. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is here, and this is an energy of consistency, an energy of like legacy, same old kind of energy. But the Empress is here, and the Empress represents healing, growth, abundance, beauty. You know, she's Venus energy, so love. And I would say yes. You know, these are pretty positive cards. But once again, and I'm pretty sure I told you this last time, it'll be when we least expect it. It'll be when we aren't even paying attention and we're feeling much more better off. You know, it's giving like, I feel so much better, like a feather with you off my mind. You know, when we release, that's when we start to attract. Let's actually see if that's the case. Spirit, give us some, tell us what we need to experience in order for Kobe to reach out to us again. Let's see what we got. Not that you should like do this with that intention, because I understand if you know, you want to see what's up, but let's see what we got. Oh, the Ten of Wands, the Chariot, and the Five of Swords. Yeah, so the Ten of Wands is having too much on my plate, being super busy. And the Chariot is I'm following my heart, I'm doing what feels right. And the Five of Swords is all about like assumptions and assuming the worst. And it can also be like very stressful information coming in. In my opinion, not only will it be when you least expect it, but it will be when you're super busy. When you're super busy and it's the last thing that's on your mind. But once again, the Chariot does represent the future. You know, the Five of Swords, I don't think it'll be a fun encounter. Let's actually pull for the energy of when they do reach out to you. Because the Five of Swords implies that it's not fun. Not saying that it should be fun. Because, you know, you guys have been no contact. I'm sure any opportunity to talk to them, it does require a little bit of carefulness, if you know what I mean. So we got. What do we got? Let's see. Ooh, the Knight of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so the reason we got the Five of Swords is the Knight of Wands is like really spontaneous, super duper spontaneous, heat of the moment kind of thing. This can also be like when somebody's drunk or when somebody is just not really thinking very hard. And the Six of Swords is here. This usually does imply that it's from a distance. So, for example, the internet, or, you know, they're not around you. They might just kind of text you because they're, I don't know. To me, it does feel a little bit like I need to do this and I need to talk about what happened so that I can let go. Because the Six of Swords is letting go of things that no longer serve us. The Wheel of Fortune is here though, and this is fated events, things unfolding in our favor. We have a little bit more of a timeline here. Anytime I see the Wheel of Fortune, it represents the seasons of the year, right? Because it has all the Zodiac signs. So it might be, you know, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear this, Alucard, but in my opinion, It could be, you know, up to a year away. And I know that's never fun to say, especially as someone who divines, but I guess it could speed up a little bit, but I think it could speed up depending on the circumstances, especially since we had the Three of Wands, which means multiple outcomes. But I feel like it's still a ways away. We had 3 cards now about the future. Okay, I hope that you like that, OC. Thank you very, very much. I apologize if that's not what you want to hear, but I always remind people, you don't have to accept it. It's okay if you don't like it. You could just be like, I rebuke thee, and then use magic and make it happen faster. Anyways, not that I recommend that. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone, and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hey there, Tech. Thank you so much for coming to stream last night. I apologize I didn't get to you live, but we're here now. And you wrote, hey Ron, I have a lot of events coming up in the near future. I would like to see if I can have a future reading for those endeavors. Thanks. Yeah! Let's see the energy of what you got going on soon. How's that gonna play out? Let's see what Spirit wants you to know about it. And thank you for trusting me as your psychic, by the way. I mean it when I say I hope it's a good experience. Okay. Ooh, the Death card! Everything changes! Ooh, the Two of Wands! We have an opportunity to choose something that we have a lot of passion for. You know, the Two of Wands is about needing to make a decision and go in. Ooh, the Tower. Interesting. Okay, there's 2 things that could happen here. Because the Death card is here, and then we have, you know, the Two of Wands, and this is a splitting of timelines, and I'm feeling like that's the case, especially with the Tower showing up. So one thing here is, it's a little bit inevitable. Things are shifting, things are changing. I feel like that you are making bigger, bolder moves. I feel that you are making waves, making big old splashes in the timeline of your life. And whenever that happens, we start to get out of rinse and repeat mode and into the unknown mode. You know, we're into the fog of the journey that is. And this is when things get really fun and really magical. And so you may have a period where you just feel really alive. You know, you just feel the energy. And I feel like doing the Palo Santo because it raises the energy. And I don't know, it felt right. Anyways, the Two of Wands is that it could go this way, it could go that way. I'm reading it that way in this spread because the Tower is here. Now the Tower represents a huge sweep, all right? So things could really go pretty dramatically, all right? And when I say go, the Tower is about something falling over. The Tower is about an old life having a cleanse, all right? Where the Death is like, I'm transitioning, I'm transmuting, I'm saying goodbye, saying hello. And this is a bit of a slow energy, by the way. The Tower is often pretty quick, all right? Notice how it's like a volcano erupting. And the Tower is also an energy of tabula rasa? Clean slate. So the reason why I say it could go either way is Spirit's saying for now, the Seven of Wands is here. And the Seven of Wands represents safety, security, choosing peace, choosing your own, your own peace of mind. But then the Tower is here. It is possible that, I don't know what you got going on, Tech, but I feel like someone's triggered by your success a little bit. I don't like to stir up drama. I really don't. But somebody might. I don't know if you have anybody like that in your life. It's okay if you don't, but I just kind of feel like somebody might kind of stir up something. And there's a possibility where you kind of get back at them, or you know what it is? It kind of feels that you walking away causes this to happen to them. You know, you being like, you know, I'm busy, I'm doing other things right now. It doesn't matter. I'm paying attention on my own life. I'm minding my own business. And this is happening in the background because that's what I'm seeing. Like, I'm seeing you very safe, very secure in your reality. And then I'm seeing the tower. And the tower is like, ah! I feel like it's someone else. Okay, I want to pull a little bit more on why we had the 7 of Wands. Let's see what we got. Ooh, the 9 of Swords, yeah. Oh my goodness. And we have the 5 of Pentacles at the bottom. You know, once again, I just feel like somebody is like super stressed out and super worried and really insecure. Yeah, the Hierophant could be somebody in your family, could be somebody in your workplace. You know, it's not surprising though. I'll tell you this, it's not surprising. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Because the Hierophant represents same old kind of energy, comfort, routines, that kind of stuff. But yeah, you know, 7 of Wands tells me that, look at that, 3 of Wands, I'm looking elsewhere. I'm doing my own thing. I'm spending my own time, minding my own business, looking towards my future. I love this. I think that you are exiting a time of anxiety. I feel that you're exiting a time of insecurity. And with that, you're leaving some, I feel like you're leaving some energies or some people behind. You know, it's possible that it could be like co-workers that aren't so nice, friends that don't really have our best interest at heart and are always like comparing us or kind of checking us. It's that kind of energy that I see us leaving. I see us leaving. Okay. Look, oh my gosh, it came up again. And it's because you're like, I'm doing this over here. I don't have time for that. Look, yeah, this is like tunnel vision. This is tunnel vision. This is an energy of quick change as well as intense focus. And the Ace of Pentacles, and I'm focusing on my growth and my healing. And I'm getting my bread up. Whatever the case may be, I'm healing. I'm growing into a new person. I'm planting a new forest is the kind of energy. Okay, that's what I see for you, Tech. I hope that you like that. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. Thank you. Bye-bye. Layla, hey, thank you so much for getting a reading from me. I do hope it's worth the wait. I appreciate your patience. You said, hi Ron, I've been watching your lives since spring 2024. Well, thank you for doing that. Thank you. And it's been so nice to see your account grow. Lately, I've been feeling disconnected from my desired future, and I was hoping to get some clarity that I'm on the right path. Thank you so much. Well, the 9 of Cups was at the bottom. That's a good sign. They say nothing happened. Wait. They say there's no coincidences. There we go. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Sorry, I had to click my brain back on. I had to readjust my circuits. Let's see what we have. What does Spirit want you to know about your path and how you're dealing with it? I always like to pull for the challenge. You know, this is something we can accomplish to get on our highest path, and I'll let you know, because I always do advice too. What do we got? Also, happy Chinese New Year. And Mardi Gras. And Lunar Eclipse. It's all fun times here. Oh, 2 of Pentacles. Oh, I like that. You're doing great, sweetie. You're doing great, sweetie. You are doing fine. Oh my goodness. Spirit's literally like, just keep going. Just keep going. You're going at a great pace. I will say this, you know, the 2 of Pentacles is an energy of this or that, back and forth, having a hard time juggling, really working the energy. And so you might be feeling really tired. You know, oftentimes people who come up as the 2 of Pentacles are just really worn thin. And if it's not because they're super busy, it's because they're super anxious. You know, they're using a lot of brain power. Their energy is just a bit frazzled. You know, look at all this. And I will say your focus is the Knight of Cups. I can tell that you are really really focused on love, on passion, on beauty, and that's what you're manifesting, baby. That is exactly what you're manifesting. We have the Empress card, and the Empress represents healing, growth, abundance, beauty. She's Venus. She's Venus energy. So pleasure, romance, love, money, all of these things. And more importantly, she attracts. And so just know, I do feel that you will make a soft transition soon. I say soon. You know, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and this usually means like a harvest season. This is your advice card to be patient, to keep up the pace, to be consistent. You're doing a good job. You know, the Seven of Pentacles is hard work, but it's hard work that is rewarded. And it's, as I mentioned, it's usually around a harvest season. So 2-4 months. I usually say 3 to 4 months, and I would kind of put my money on 4. And I like how you have all these beautiful horses here. And I just said Happy Chinese New Year. It's a fire horse, by the way. Energies are on your side. The new year is not new. Chinese New Year is on your side. I also feel like this is very random, but I feel like your zodiac sign is on your side. I don't know what your sign is. I just feel like movement is your friend right now. And moving with the energies that you exude. Okay, let me actually pull. I want to see what star energy is working for you right now. Star energy is working for Laila. Ooh, the 11th house, community, collective. We also have, I knew it, we have Sagittarius. Did you know Sagittariuses have the most movement, have the most energy, have the most power for this new season? And it's because they are quite literally the fire horse. You know, they're a centaur fire sign. And this is what's working with you right now. And by the way, you know, I hadn't mentioned that you're giving a lot of love. If you're looking for a more romantic relationship, like a romantic relationship, or if you're looking for deep philosophical conversations with your friends and your family, you know, deepening this, strengthening this, that's on your side. And you also have another fire energy working with you at this moment. Now, the Empress is in the future, but right now, all of this is in alignment with what I was saying. So the Knight of Cups is giving love, giving healing, giving nurturing. This is also fire, water, fire. This is, this one's air and earth, but, you know, we're working pretty good with what we have here. So I like this spread. I think you're doing a great job. I think you're maybe stressing out a little bit too much, especially in the mind. You know, I'm feeling like no, it feels like our emotional state. I wonder if you've been having a bit too much, you know, having a difficult time setting up boundaries when it comes to your empathy levels. Girls say, oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you for trusting me so much, Laila, with your reading. I hope that you like that. And hey, I think it's going to be good for you. You know, the Empress says that you're relaxing and we have abundance coming to you instead of you having to chase after it. And give it a good 3-4 months, because, you know, time and energy is fluid, but you'll be peachy, you'll be fine. You're making all the right choices. All we got was thumbs up from Spirit. Keep up the pace. You're doing great. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi there, Lilith. Lilith, thank you so much for getting a reading from me. I really do hope that it's worth the wait. Let's see what you wrote. You said, hi, I've been watching for a while and I love your energy. Thank you. Please give me a reading on my budding relationship with Kate. I sensed a kindred spirit in him. I don't know if it's a slow burn or I'm delulu. Please help me find clarity on the long term. I'm dating to marry. Oh my goodness. I love that. I date to marry too. So I get it. The seriousness is real, you know. You don't want to waste your time. Okay. Well, this is your energy, deep in introspection. Go back so we can see your name. And I'm gonna pull for the energy in between and their energy, the challenge, and the advice for you. So that's what I usually do for these kind of romantic readings. But I'll also pull some spirit cards for you to see what the energy is around there. Okay. Okay, what do we got? Oh. Well, the energy in between is looking nice. This is the 6 of Wands. And this is reaching for the stars. This is an energy of success, being seen, being noticed. Think about being on a stage. I'm sure you know how to read tarot. In the original, it has somebody who is up on a horse and they're coming home from battle and they're victorious. And so in this deck specifically, notice they're still on a horse, which is really nice because we are in the year of the horse. But yeah, we're touching a star, we're reaching a goal. We're doing something that had felt unobtainable. Their energy is the Princess of Cups. So this is somebody who is, I'll say this, a little bit inexperienced when it comes to love, as I'm sure you know. And I'm not trying to say that they haven't had serious relationships or anything like that. In my opinion, it's it feels like they kind of struggle to understand people's emotions, not in a negative way, in a almost like a, how do I explain? They might come off as aloof. They might come off as how come you wouldn't pick that up? How come you wouldn't understand that? Can you not feel that energy? But they always assume the best, and so it's like a sweet. It's a sweet energy. The princess, this is the Page of Cups. It's sweet. It's kind. It's not intended, but it is a little bit aloof. I don't know why I'm feeling that way. This is somebody who would not make the first move, by the way, because anxiety. So this could be about needing to shoot your shot as well. The Hermit card here is, notice how it's facing away from their energy. The Hermit is, I'm looking inward, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to trust my intuition. You've probably been meditating on this a lot. You've probably been asking for advice from Spirit. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you had your own set of cards to divine with. But yeah, you're doing your homework on it spiritually, and that's not bad. That's not bad. Your challenge is the Ten of Swords. We never get a challenge unless we can overcome it. And your advice is the Empress. Now, the Ten of Swords represents feeling blocked, feeling drained. It's also feeling like we can't make a move, we can't make a misstep, or something awful will happen. It's also a painful end. And your advice from Spirit is the Empress card. And this is to remember that you are the prize, you are the attractor, that you should be having people throw themselves at you, right? You should have people saying hello. And so maybe that's why there's a little bit of a some pause, right? They're not pursuing. Wonder what we could do to change that. Let's see what we do. Because your advice is the Empress, and this is Venus energy. So pleasure, romance, love, money, but also about calling things towards you, beckoning almost, instead of chasing and going after. I noticed that we had that card about reaching for the stars, and the horse is masculine energy. Let's see what we got. What does Spirit say the Empress card? Why do we need to attract, but also to remember our worth? Ooh, the Three of Wands, the Hermit card, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah. Girl, all you need to do is focus on you and you feeling beautiful and feeling like you are a gem, like you are shiny, like you are the prize. It is just, it's all over here. Your inner light is so bright, like the Hermit card. That's what you came up as earlier. And this is about expanding our light, expanding our reach. And this is, I don't know if you know anything about the aura, but it really does have a size. And I'm saying this as someone who can see them and who, I do aura readings and stuff like that. And whenever we're in the hermit mode, our aura is small. We don't want to be seen. We don't want people to pry into our lives. We're trying to stay very private. We don't want people to know how we feel. We're a bit coy. We're also a little bit mysterious. Not intentional, but people kind of pick up on us as mysterious. And so your energy is very, it's not that your energy is bad, it's not negative, it's just not it's not how to explain, because I don't want to say it's not bright, because it is bright. You know, we have this beautiful star inside, this wonderful, beautiful light inside of us. It's just not shining, you know, it's not glittering and glistening like it could, like you have the potential to do. And I'm not trying to say, and by the way, I'm not trying to tell you that you need to dress different. I'm not trying to tell you that you need to look different, do your makeup different, do your hair different, unless you feel called to do so. But what I am saying is we need to up our confidence. You know, look at the Queen of Wands. She knows she's beautiful. She knows she's a shit, okay? And she knows that it is a blessing and a pleasure to be around her and to hear her, okay? She likes being up on stage. She doesn't mind being seen. And once again, I want you to remember that this is something you do in your own way. I'm not, you know, you don't have to be, you don't have to pretend to be a Leo if you're not a Leo. You know, it's just about what makes you brighten up, what makes you shine, what do you love, and how can we express that outwardly. Think about Marilyn Monroe. She was an expert at controlling her light. So she's famous for saying whenever she would walk with her friends, no one would recognize her. You know, she would be out in public and no one would know it was her. And she would look at her friend and she would go, "Hey, you want to watch me become her? Watch this." And her friend would say this, like multiple people would say this. She wouldn't change her posture. She wouldn't change her smile. She did nothing other than turn on this light inside of her, and then all of a sudden there's a crowd asking for her autograph. That's what I feel Spirit is trying to tell you to do, to control your energy in that way so that we're attracting, people are seeing us. You know, rather than feeling like we need to chase or fight or beg or plead, we need to allow. You're the prize, is the energy. Okay, that's what I feel. I want to get you a Spirit card. What does Spirit want you to know right now? You know, and I will also say this to you, Lilith. Seeing the... Oh, I got disconnected. Anyway, my headset. I don't know if you heard that. But, the Three of Wands does mean expanding. So expanding your reach, expanding your knowledge, expanding your field of view. You know, that means zoom out. You know, zoom out. Look at it from the top of the mountain. Like the hermit, but with the lights on. Okay. Oh, Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. I never pulled this card, by the way. We also have Messenger, bringing harmony and balance, as well as you're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. What's your north node? What is your north node? I would be surprised if it's in Leo, because I think that would be so funny. If it was in like a fire sign. You know, we have two things about our soul lesson. So our north node is our soul lesson, right? It's about our direction that our soul plan wants us to do. It's also about fate. It's about soul growth. And this is how we start to attract really miraculous things in our life. And we have Messenger, bringing harmony and balance. I feel like you'll run into this soon. I'm actually not too worried. I think you're doing everything fine. I just think that Spirit says you could do it. You could. You don't have to hide. You don't have to hide what you're doing. That's what I feel. You know? If you're like, let's say that you don't talk about astrology or you don't talk about divination or witchcraft or anything like that because you don't want to scare the hoes. Girl, let me tell you, men love it when you're into witchy stuff, okay? And I'm saying this as someone who has been going on dates. They like it. They think it's cool and interesting. Like, oh, are you gonna put a spell on me? So that's what I want to share. Alrighty, I hope that you like that. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Hi there, V. Thank you very much for getting a reading from me last night. I apologize that I had to end because I was tired, but you know what? We're gonna get to it today. So you wrote, "Hi Ron, I love a general love reading about my boyfriend. Yeah, I want to know what he thinks about me deep down. What's something he'd want to say to me but is too nervous to, or anything you feel called to ask, or just a detailed love reading about the feels. Thank you. Yeah, I can do that. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know about how your partner is feeling. Thank you for trusting me with that. I really appreciate it. Okay. I also want to see what's challenging them right now on the advice. So, okay. What do we got, Spirit? What's going on? What's going on with Bee's partner? Thank you so much for helping us. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Ooh, Princess of Cups, the Ace of Wands. Yeah, you know what, V? I don't think that they're being completely transparent with you. No, I'm not trying to say that they're lying, but I will say that the challenge is the Seven of Swords, and this does represent being dishonest and not being very clear. Now, I'm not saying that they're just like, oh, I'm just lying straight up to your face. It can be through omission. It can be through, avoidance, that kind of energy. We have the advice card being the Three of Pentacles and the Prince of Swords. And this has to do with working together and being the student. So what I like about the Prince of Swords is that they know that they are learning, that they're learning. And they have a lot to learn, and they're gonna make mistakes, but they still try. And so Spirit is saying that they need to work with you, not against you. They need to see you as somebody who's on the same team as them, somebody who's going to love them unconditionally, no matter what, even if they have something difficult to say. But what's more important is that they're trying, not that they are good at it, particularly good at it. We can get good with time, with patience, with practice. And so I do feel that let's see. Okay, let me break it down a little bit more, because this is what they're being advised to do. Will they do that? We'll see. We'll see. We have their energy as the Princess of Cups, and this is finding something shiny. We also have the Ace of Wands, and this is about a spark, a passion. Maybe they're a little bit irritable. Maybe you find that they get really quiet, and you can kind of feel that they're kind of taming their energy. But the Princess of Cups says that they, it can sometimes mean avoidance. They're being a bit aloof with their emotions and not getting too deep or clear about it. And you'll notice oftentimes in the artwork for the Page of Cups is there's a moon, and the reason the moon is there is because it's still kind of a fresh new feeling. It isn't really super deep down what they're expressing. So it's possible that they don't know how they feel just because of, we do have some moon energy. We also have them being very irritable with the Ace of Wands. But in the future, we have the Six of Swords, and this is letting go of people, places, and things that no longer serve us. And then we have the Ten of Cups, and this is heading towards, a happy family kind of energy. And so this can mean as well as bridge under the water. It can mean forgiveness. It means letting go, right? So let's say that they have a fear and they let go of it and they choose the happy family card. Or let's say that they have something to get off of their chest. The Six of Swords can also be that. It's a release. It's just a release. And oftentimes it can be a release of information. But seeing the outcome being the Ten of Cups, I do think that they're a good person. I want to pull what are they hiding? What are they holding back? Because I do see them holding back a little bit. Sorry, I'm humming. I'm humming. What am I humming? What's that called? K-pop Demon Hunters. The golden song. I'm just thinking about this outfit. It makes me think. It makes me want to sing it. Okay, let's see what we got. Ooh, the Eight of Wands. the Sun and the Ace of Cups. And the Magician. Yeah! You know, the Eight of Wands means speed, action, and quick change. The Sun represents happiness, joy, and success. And the Ace of Cups means an emotion. It means a relationship. It means like pure love, untainted love. And then we have the Magician card, and this is about manifestation. And so this is what I feel that they are hiding. Not very well, by the way. I think that they have some ideas of the future that are different than when you first met them. And they're a little scared that you're not going to be on board. And I also think that they feel that they kind of lack a bit of control in their life. And it's revolving, in my personal opinion, about not feeling like it's, if they were transparent, if they were true, if they shared how they really felt and what they really thought, they wouldn't be loved. But that's not the case. And so, once again, the Eight of Wands is like, I'm kind of avoiding it. But the Magician card is here. I think it's time for a conversation. I think it's time for a conversation, in my opinion. I also think it's time to really, really ask them about what they want. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Let's see how... Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, V. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that you like that. Thank you so much. I'm feeling a little bit... I don't know why. I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. I don't like to just say people are lying and hiding stuff. I don't like it. But if I were you... Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. How did you like that? You don't have to believe me. You could disregard it. I'm really sorry. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Pixie! Should I audition to be a burlesque dancer? You have my favorite reading of the night. I love this. Let's see. I think you should. Honestly, Pixie, I think you should. But let's see what Spirit has to say. Why not? Life is too short to not be a burlesque dancer. I love this for you. I really do. I like this so much. Let me see. Thank you for trusting me, by the way. I hope that you like it. I really do. Thank you for your patience. Okay, Pixie. Should you be a burlesque dancer? I'll tell you this, you're gonna love it. You're gonna feel beautiful. You're gonna feel gorgeous. You're gonna have a great time. You're gonna have so many eyes on you. It's gonna really teach you a lot about yourself and what you need and what you intend. But you may not make as much money as you'd like. And that's okay. That's okay. Don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the money. Your challenge is the Ace of Wands to act on your passion. And your advice card is the Hanged One to see it from a new perspective. See it from a new perspective. What's holding you back? What are you afraid of? Justice card is here. And this is about truth, honesty, clarity. And this is what I mean by, oh yeah, you're going to learn a lot about yourself, where your boundaries are, what you prefer. And honestly, Pixie, it's just going to be a good story. It's just going to be a good story. Why did we get the Five of Pentacles? Let's see what we got the Five. Sorry, I screamed. I was just so excited. I love that for you. I love that for you. Okay, Pixie, why did we get the Five of Pentacles? I kind of feel like it is kind of a money thing. The Knight of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Few things here. I do think it is. You might not make as much as you'd like. That's okay. That doesn't mean that you won't make money. But the Knight of Wands is here, and Spirit's. I'll be honest, Pixie. I have a divination for you. I have a prophecy for you. Five of Pentacles represents insecurity, okay, and feeling separate from Spirit. It's important, Pixie, that you don't pick up some man's here, okay? There's gonna be someone who's really sweet, really cool, very handsome, super attractive, and attracted to you. But it's a no-go, okay? Spirit, burning Palo Santo for you, Pixie. It's a no-go, okay? Okay? Very important. We're not gonna meet our husband. We're not gonna meet our soulmate here, okay? Because Ace of Cups is a new relationship. The Knight of Wands is a boy, okay? And then the Ten of Swords is a big no. Big no. And remember, we're clarifying the Five of Pentacles. Clarifying the Five of Pentacles. Do not let these men's or these women, you know, if you're attracted to women, don't let these women try to break your heart or break you because you're beautiful. All right, let's get one more message for you about this. Just one more message. Yeah, the Five of Cups, the Prince of Wands. Like I said, I want you to know that this is a place for you to find who you are and what your light means to you and what your enjoyment is and your independence and your freedom. And if you find yourself in a little relationship while you're doing this, you're gonna feel chained. You're gonna feel like you don't have freedom. You're gonna question, you know, who am I doing this for? Perform for you and your bag, not someone else's. Okay, I hope that you like that, Pixie. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything. Excuse me, that you are endeavoring. Happy Chinese New Year, by the way. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Why, hi there, Lilith. Thank you so much for trusting me with your reading. Are you the same person that was the other Lilith? Thank you for getting two of them if that's the case. But anyways, anywho, you said, hi, can I get an energy and past life reading? I'd love to know what energy I bring and what my purpose/calling is. I'm also curious about how my past life can be related to my current one. I'm an Aquarius sun and Leo moon/rising. Yeah! Ooh, I love a Leo moon. Good for you. Your emotions are just very easy to understand. I'm a Virgo moon, and so I constantly just want to fix people, especially emotionally. I can't help it. I can fix him. But I like that. I love Leos. I also love Aquarians. I'm a Sagittarius sun, so any air sign, I'm like, hey. Let's see what we got. What were you? I'll be honest. I'm a little feeling like I should do a little scribble reading instead. I'm just gonna use this paper. I use this paper for like candle wax. So I apologize if there's like some wax on it, but I didn't want to waste anything. So give me a moment. I feel like I should scribble it rather than just pull, because it's a little bit easier for me to do past life stuff that way. So we're gonna write your name, and today is February 17th, 2026, and it's 10:04 p.m. Thank you very much, Spirit, my guides, Lilith's guides, for aiding us in this spirit reading. I would love to connect to Lilith's higher mind, higher self, so that we can figure out who they were in a past life that matters at the moment, a past life that's relevant to their current one, because there's so many lives we've led. Okay, give me 1 second. Just give me a second. I just have to connect. Usually I don't do these, by the way, so I feel like it's the right call, though. You know, Spirit was telling me to do this, so here. Well, no, this is good. Funny how they're architecting it for me. So I call the architect the person who's in control of the vision. And when we dream, oftentimes we are the architect of that dream. But sometimes other architects come in. So guides, other spirits, even other like realms, people's domains and energies like that can affect our architecture. But they're architecting like, so they're showing me a pixelated image, and they're helping me kind of like increase the pixels, which is very interesting. You know, they're showing me, oh, they're showing me sort of like a painting of, I don't know if you'll like this, Lilith. You don't have to believe me, by the way. Always take it with a grain of salt. But they shared with me a very particular word, and it might be a bit, you might not like it, okay? But they told me you were a serf. And I'm seeing a young girl. I'm seeing her with beautiful, beautiful hair. And I'm seeing her, it feels like we're in, it feels like we're, because I'm seeing a countryside behind you, and I'm seeing you with a woven basket. And it feels very picturesque, but your hands are rough. And you're not shoeless, but your shoes are made of leather. It feels like a really rough leather, almost like the shoes were made out of another shoe. Feels like your shoes were made like from somebody else's shoe, like from a man's shoe. Sorry, I don't know if this information is good if you're liking this, but that's what I'm seeing. Hands are rough, leather shoes, old and refurbished. Thank you very much, Spirit. Thank you so much. You came in so quickly. A lot of times, it takes me a bit longer than this, but they're very, very present. They're telling me that you got in trouble for asking questions a lot. And I feel that's something that you have in common with your current life. Got in trouble for asking questions. This is very important. You know, they're pointing it to me. They're showing me like a book of names that you have been through. Oh, you know, I'll be honest with you, Lilith. They're showing me this very common theme and lives that you have. You know, they're showing me like a bunch of names, right? A bunch of names. And on this particular life spread, they're calling it a life spread. Like a life spreadsheet. Interesting, I've never heard it called that before. They're saying that the common theme here is freedom of mind in a captive situation. And seeing the magic of expression create miracles. You know, I'm seeing you like, it's interesting because I feel that somebody saw you and how beautiful you are and cleaned you up. And it's interesting here. I don't know if you've been if you've experienced this, Lilith. It reminds me of somebody who, like, maybe as a kid or maybe growing up, you wanted to be like a model, or you wanted to be like YouTube famous or something like that, and you had someone approach you like, you know, you look like you would be like a child actor or a model. You look like someone would scout you, or maybe you were approached by like a scout in public. It's that kind of energy that I'm seeing like a common theme of. So what they're saying to me is, if you want to win in this life, you can't rely. It's hard. They're telling me that you can't enter contracts. It has to be something that you do for yourself. That's not to say that you can't have help from other people. That's not to say that you can't be successful because someone, you know, helped you out or anything like that. But they're telling me it has to be free from stipulation, and especially contracts. Okay. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm glad that was very, very, very particular. And I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, Lilith. Thank you so much. My ears are hurting all of a sudden, too. My ears are hurting. I don't know if that's a symbol for you. My ears are fine, by the way. If I were you, Lilith, I would do a cleanse. I would, you know, burn some sage, okay? Burn some sage and connect to your higher self, because they have a lot of wisdom to share with you right now, and they're very active. And they're making my ears burn because I don't know why. What does it mean when your ears burn? They're telling me it means something. Forgot. I'm pretty sure that's a saying. Superstition. Someone is talking about you. Someone might be talking about you. Ooh, they're trying to figure out what they can do with you. Please don't let other people control you. And say no to people that have stipulations. And this includes marriage. And I'm not trying to say you can't get married. You absolutely can. But there's just something about the fine print that we keep getting caught up in our lives. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi there, Cesar. Thank you so... Oh, wait. Let me see if I put your timestamp in. Oopsies. There we go. Hi there, Cesar. Thank you so much for getting a reading from me. I apologize for leaving last night. I was really sleepy. But we're here. And let's see what you wrote. You said... Oops, I clicked the wrong button. You said... I've never gotten a reading, but you kept popping up for me. I'm not sure what to ask about these, but you kept popping up and got me curious. Aw, thank you, Cesar. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we got. Yeah, what do we have for Cesar? Spirit want you to know. What do we have? What do we have? Okay, what do we got? Ooh, the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is your energy. Very fun to be around. I think people feel really nice around you. But we have the Five of Cups. You don't believe that. Why don't you believe that? You know, the Five of Wands is an energy of stress. It's being overstimulated. It means chaos. It's worried that everywhere we step we're a bother. You know, it's really interesting, Cesar, because the Three of Cups says that you're really fun to be around, that people really like you, you uplift the energy. But maybe that is with great effort. You know, you may find that you have to really think about every word you say and every step you make. Maybe it's a little bit difficult to feel like a natural when you're around people. Now we have the King of Cups coming in the future, and so this represents feeling that you are being listened to. But I'm gonna be honest with you. It feels more like you are stepping into this energy. And this is how you're gonna start to feel more comfortable around your friends, your family, your coworkers. And the King of Cups is somebody who is compassionate, empathetic. They're very wise emotionally, and they're a great listener. And so, you know what, Cesar? I feel that you are reaching a point in your life where you realize that connection is important, that friendship is a necessity, that you're human and humans need to be around other humans. And, maybe you spent a good chunk of your life feeling like, I need to dodge these situations. I don't want any drama. Every time I say something, I say the wrong thing. And to just being a receptive person, and that just listening, just being there for people, just being around people is enough. It is enough. And I think that's what you're going to realize very soon. Now, the World card is here. And the World card represents a completion of a goal and a learning of a lesson. And so just know you're entering a new era soon. What that means, right? Like, it's okay if you don't understand. It just means that we're letting go and we're closing a book. And we're saying to ourselves, what's next? And I feel that this has to do with our social situations. I think that you're starting to understand how to really interact with people in a more comfortable and mature way. And this came with great effort, by the way. I also feel that people can tell that you have wisdom to share. Not that you don't have to believe me, but that's what I feel, that we don't believe people feel this way about us, but they really, really do. Your advice card from Spirit is the Two of Swords, and this is needing to make a decision and needing to make a compromise, but this is also an energy of it's okay not to know. It's alright to not have all the answers. What's important is that you are listening and that you are there and that you're, making one step at a time. I want to see why we got the King of Cups, because I feel that you're going to be there for somebody, but I want to see what that is. Almost like someone's going to tell you a secret. Ooh, someone might tell you a secret. Let's see what we have. Ooh, the Hierophant. The Death card. And the Five Pentacles. Yeah. Ooh, and there's Judgment. All right, so we have lots of major arcanas here, and these are the heavy-hitting cards, all right? And notice that you had the challenge being the World. Something that you have been questioning. Whether it be, they're acting kind of funny. Why is that? Or, why is our family like this? Why does our family have this going on? An answer to those questions is coming in. Now, the Hierophant represents comfort, stability, and structure. And the Death card represents transformation and rebirth. And so the way things usually are changing. And you may notice that where people who used to have like power, especially in the family space, or I guess it could have to do with work, are kind of taking a step down. And it's because things are coming to light. And I think it's very interesting. I think it'll be quite the show. I think it'll be really fun and entertaining to watch. And I do think you're going to earn the respect of I feel like you're going to earn the respect of people. But mostly because you're just listening and you're observing. And there's so many people telling you tea. I don't know why. I'm kind of interested, but something may happen in the background, Cesar, that is very chaotic. I feel it has, like, you're adjacent to it, but I don't think that you caused anything. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much. Thank you for trusting me with your reading. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye.